Glistening there on the stage here in Barcelona, in this wonderful venue. We are, of course, now underway in the final game in the first group between Tiamat and Mayageka. Of course, as we mentioned, both can still go through.
Mayageka, a big Arsenal fan, and playing with Arsenal. PSG is, as we know from his two previous matches, which we have followed, Tiamat's side. His favourite player being N'Golo Kanté. He's actually a Lyon fan, but he plays with PSG. I wonder what his friends think of that.
Interesting.
I suppose business is business, friendship is friendship.
Absolutely, and of course this is the business end of the group. Excuse the wording there, as Arsenal try and attack down the left-hand side. Now remember, Mayageka finished with 3 points from the opening two games. Tiamat has 4, so certainly a defeat here for Mayageka could be a real problem, but it's not the start that would mean that were to happen, because Mayageka has taken an early lead. Wow.
We could have a shock on our hands here then. Mayageka in control early on in the red of Arsenal.
So we know Jose is out, but F. Mestre has 4 points. So if F. Mestre, as an example, were to beat Jose in his last game, he would finish with 7, if my maths is correct. Then we will go to these two, which, as it stands, has Tiamat with 4 points and Mayageka with 6, which would mean that Tiamat would be crashing out. And there is another big potential early shock in this tournament.
That's a rarity, seeing Cazorla now in an Arsenal shirt.
Yep, unfortunately won't be there in the next game, because his tenure at the North London club has come to an injury-plagued end. Although a fantastic player on his day, of course, as the ball gets played in towards Neymar. Another brilliant player. Cavani's there. It's 1-1.
And it's that man again, isn't it? Cavani got a hat-trick previously for Tiamat in his opening match against F. Mestre, that 4-all thriller. Cavani on target immediately after Mayageka took the lead. That's the way to respond, the Frenchman.
So he was in front 4 times in the opening game. He's now come from behind, and so he can do it all. Can he now go on to take the lead? This is why he is so dangerous. Such a measured approach, just looking for a little chink in the armour, and he found it. Again, sloppy defending there, you'd feel, leaving Cavani, the most important player offensively for PSG, unmarked. And on the penalty spot as well.
And not only that, Neymar should have been dispossessed fully by Koscielny. Koscielny should be beating Neymar.
It was a bit of a weak challenge, you have to say, from the Frenchman, and converted by the French player.
Mkhitaryan dispossessed. Mbappe in bags of space on the left side. That's a poor pass, dispossessed. Arsenal have possession now with Mkhitaryan to Aubameyang.
So there's some little stats for you there. Mayageka obviously semi-finalist in the Asia round, whereas Tiamat went on to win that regional qualifiers. In fact, he won the Americas as well. Only the Europe round was unable to win, so certainly accrued enough points to get to these world finals. Of course, if you don't know so far, that these 8 players qualified through a point system where there were 3 major regional tournaments which anyone could apply for all over the globe. The first one being in Asia, then the Americas, and then Europe. And the players who accrued the most points after those 3 regional finals qualified for the world final seat in Barcelona. As Tiamat tries again, chips a goalkeeper, another save from Czech, still in the danger area. It's a thumping defensive header away there.
That's a training ground move, free kick wise. It reminds me of England a few weeks ago.
Don't remind me. Hashtag it is not coming home.
Yeah, it was certainly not just a hit and hope at the goal. That was well crafted from Tiamat, who now gets another set play opportunity. Well grasped though by Czech. Lacazette. Arsenal breaking now as Mayageka aims to restore his lead that he took over PSG. Silva. Wilshere, another man who will not be in the Arsenal shirt on the new edition of PES. He'll be in a West Ham shirt. Neymar, dispossessed by Mustafi, good defending.
Of course, talking about PES, remember, you can have the chance to gain some legends on your new copy or some coins on the mobile game if you listen to the 3 keywords that will be announced by Semra, our wonderful presenter, at some point during today. And then you will take those 3 keywords, go to the website, the official PES website, and of course put them in, and you will then have that chance. So certainly worth sticking around, if not for this incredible drama, which after 31 minutes is 1-1, but it's a chance for 2. Good defending again from the Frenchman Tiamat. Still, Mayageka been very impressed with his offensive play so far today.
F. Mestre, meanwhile, and Jose SG are starting in the other match. We'll dip over to that at the end of this in 10 minutes' time. It's the 35th minute. Arsenal 1, PSG 1. The crunch time at the end of Group A. All to play for here in Barcelona.
Of course, goal difference for F. Mestre is pretty impressive after his 3-0 win against Mayageka. So having drawn 4-4 with Tiamat, and both being on 4 points, if F. Mestre were to win, he certainly would be looking to top that group as the ball gets played in and is fired wide. So Tiamat could be potentially, even if he were to go through, not topping the group.
Aubameyang having to slide into that shot on goal.
It's quite a way wide in the end. Not going to trouble the goalkeeper from there.
The goalkeeper always knows when to leave it if it's going wide. Aubameyang. Mkhitaryan. Back with PSG. And Cavani. Neymar is running through, but it was a good block from Wilshere, I think. Cavani has possession again, though, and he's using his strength to try and keep the ball. Di Maria. Verratti, who scored, you may remember, in the previous match, dispossessed by Koscielny. That's the Koscielny that should have been there earlier against Neymar inside the box. Mkhitaryan, Arsenal breaking. A dink over the top of Aubameyang offside.
Controversial.
Close one.
Oh, was he? If it was by the studs. The player nearer the linesman looked to be definitely straying offside, but it was very controversial. Just a stud of the boot, potentially. Otherwise, that would have been a massive chance, wouldn't it?
Yeah, there are no guarantees, but there we have the other match. 15 minutes in, Arsenal 0, Jeju 0. And we've resumed, yes, haven't we, in the second half of Arsenal PSG.
Just giving it a bit of a chat about the other game in group, in the first group, is of course Jose now being out has no pressure, so potentially it could be easier or more difficult because he's nothing to play for as the ball gets fired home.
What a save! Massive
save, and it's a big chance for Tiamat wasted.
Yeah, more crucially, I think. Yeah, absolutely. That should have been a goal.
He's done so well. What a save! It looked like it was a missed opportunity, really, but I don't even think you can say that. What a save from Petr.
It's worth being Arsenal just to have a check, isn't it?
Absolutely.
In this tournament.
He is certainly producing some fine saves so far today, as Mbappe tries to go for goal, hacked away by Mustafi.
Yeah, there's just a deflection there that took the direction and the strength off the ball. Lacazette loses out. Neymar did well to get up in the air. He's not the tallest of players, the Brazilian. He spent a total of 14 minutes on the floor in Russia, by the way. Somebody actually worked that out, as Cavani is dangerous once again in the box. A lot easier this time, though, for Czech.
It's quite a stack.
Di Maria. Uruguayan again. Trading passes with his fellow South American. Oh, this is great stuff from PSG. Cleared away, though, in the end. And up towards Lacazette.
So, just over half an hour remaining here between Tiamat and Mayageka, and We have another goal in the other game, and it looks like it's a goal for Jose, which could put things in the balance for F. Mestre.
But as he's already out, he doesn't really want to celebrate, which is understandable.
Understandable, but it could have some massive ramifications for the two playing on your screen right now, because now both of these players know if they were to win, they would top the group if scores remain the same. Equally, Mayageka knows if he were to lose, he's out, and if Tiamat were to lose, it would go down to potentially goal difference, etc., as he would be level with 4 points with the Brazilian Mestre. It's a lot of numbers there.
And they'll all change, Adam.
They will all change. It's almost pointless until we get to the end. Thus is the abilities of all these players. They can turn it on in the blink of an eye, as they might do here through Cavani. No, back to Rabia.
Cavani and Neymar have been linking up really well in this match. That was clearly offside, though.
Sloppy there from Cavani, yeah.
It's funny because there have been rumours, haven't there, that not only does Neymar not, well, it's not even a rumour, he's not always seen eye to eye with Cavani, but apparently it's the case with Mbappe as well. It's a fascinating dynamic, that front three at PSG, just like we've heard obviously with Bale and Ronaldo in their time in the Los Blancos shirts.
Yeah, of course there are always problems between teammates that they have to rectify, and actually something we have seen with the court teams. They've had that, you know, that ongoing battle to try and find the best formula. And that's why seeing certain teams like Broken Silence, for example, and even Shadowhunters, even though they weren't able to qualify yesterday, it's great to watch them sort of overcome all those difficulties playing as a team compared to being solo.
Kolasinac, Ozil still with him. He's still got possession in the box. He's still going. Is this a chance now for Welbeck? It was a chance, but it wasn't taken.
Yeah, it's good defending in the end again. So we are now ticking right down to the final section here. 15 minutes plus stoppage time. All eyes will, of course, be on that fourth official. Although, if it gets to that stage and you are behind, it's almost as good as done, because the other player's game management usually kicks in at that point. Thus is their nature.
A few questions to be answered by Tiamat defensively in the last few moments as Arsenal pile on the pressure. Is there another attack or two left in the PSG tank? We will find out. We're into the final 15.
You've got to remember, these final 15 minutes in terms of grabbing a goal are far more crucial for Mayageka on 3 points than Tiamat on 4, because we know, of course, that Tiamat will be heading through with a point, as he will be on 5 points, and it will be enough, as there's been a goal in the other game, and there's been a goal here, and it's Tiamat from France, surely booking his place in the knockout stages here in Barcelona of the World Finals.
Yeah, he won his previous game by 2-1. He now has a 2-1 advantage and all points in this group from his matches. But there is still time for something to happen, as we see the other goal in the other match as well between F. Mestre and Jose SG, who's got the other one.
I think it was Jose again, yeah. I think Jose's got the second goal to kill that game off, potentially, as Petr Cech's left with absolutely no chance. And we now know that Jose will finish with 3 points from that group, if that stays the same. And, of course, his opponent, which is F. Mestre, will be finishing with 4 points, and hoping that F. Mestre, sorry, not F. Mestre, hoping that Tiamat can win.
Score a few more.
Well, or a draw will probably be enough as well. No, actually, that will put Mayageka with 4 points as well. Oh, it's all to play for. So, yeah, he's hoping that Tiamat wins this next game, which he is in the process of doing. And Jose sat here thinking, if only. Well, why didn't I play like this at the start?
He's playing without pressure now, so maybe that's the key. Maybe he had too much pressure in his first 2 games, which is why he's in this position, already going home, going into the last game here in Barcelona in the group.
Absolutely, he certainly has the talent.
Unier. Cavani is all alone up top for PSG, who are adopting a rather conservative approach to these final few moments.
So 82 minutes on the clock. And it remains Mayageka, Arsenal 1, Tiamat, PSG 2, and Tiamat will top the group as things stand with 7 points.
So Draxler and Dani Alves have both come on for PSG as Cavani heads into the net. And he just about beat the offside trap. It's another hat-trick for Edison Cavani, and all 3 points, another 3 points for Tiamat, who is going to win this game at least by 3-1, surely.
Yeah, he's going to win the game and he's going to win the group. 3 goals from Edison Cavani, the Uruguayan in emphatic form, and most notably the goal coming from one of his frailties in the opening match. So even the best can learn at this level from the other players they're playing against. He's taken on board what F. Mestre was doing to him, and he has unleashed upon his opponent here in Mayageka. 3-1 to the Frenchman and back on form.
It's been another pulsating match here in Barcelona, as we have... Do we have another goal? Is that 2-1? I think it might be 2-1 as F. Mestre pulled one back.
Well,
yes, he has. It's 2-1 now, so that's game on.
Now he knows it doesn't really matter unless Mayageka is able to score 2 goals in 2 minutes, which I think I'm going to put my neck on the line here and say is impossible, just so it happens, because there's a chance here. No, it's cleared away. And Tiamat will surely now wrap up all 3 points.
Kolasinac, Özil. PSG win back possession, but only momentarily. And there it is, the full-time whistle, a 3-1 success for Tiamat, who tops the group as well. A fine group stage performance from the Frenchman, who marches through as the leader of Group B. Meanwhile, in the other match, it's still 2-1 to Jose G against F. Mestre, but even if that will be a win for Jose SG, will mean that F. Mestre still goes through, I think.
I think he will still go through on 4 points because Mayageka has 3. Unfortunately, the damage was done for Mayageka's campaign in that second game against F. Mestre. The 3-0 defeat has caused all sorts of problems for him, and most notably, he is now out of this competition, and the chance for a winner from the Asia region has diminished to 1. SOFIA now has the whole of the region on his shoulders as it goes from 2 to 1. We've seen the Spaniard Jose go home, leaving Alex Alguacil from Spain, Eterito from Italy, and Tiamat from France, from the European region, still with a chance to win it. And from the Americas, we have F. Mestre and possibly Henrykinho, although his chances look slim as well, and SOFIA.
It's worth saying that the players playing today cannot really hear us because they have noise-cancelling headphones on.
They probably don't want to hear us.
No, they don't. They absolutely don't, and that's a good thing. But they have noise-cancelling headphones on, and they can only really hear the atmosphere from their match. So F. Mestre won't actually know what's happened, really, I don't think, fully in the other match. So he will want to win this. And why wouldn't you anyway?
Well, he might, like you said, he might legitimately think he's heading out of the competition.
Yeah.
So it'd be a huge sigh of relief when he takes his earphones off and realises that he's actually through.
But for hearing us.
Yeah. So 15 minutes remaining in a game for the first time today, which really has nothing to play for. Of course, Jeju United being handled by the Brazilian F. Mestre is losing by 2-1 to Arsenal, who are being handled by... actually, we've gone to a different game. We've gone to Alex Alguacil versus Eterito. And of course, it is Alex Alguacil who is winning by 2-1, I believe. Just waiting for clarification on that.
So 2-1 to the blue of Arsenal. They could have played in red actually, but they've chosen the blue strip against Jeju United, the popular now South Korean side, who many players like to play with. And we have a goal, and Petr Cech beaten once again. It is now 2-2. Jeju United are back in this match against Arsenal.
So I actually think we had a couple of names pop up on the screen that weren't playing, i.e. Torito and Alex Alguacil. I'll just confirm that. But that is an equalising goal, of course, for F. Mestre, which means that Jose potentially will be leaving the competition without a win to his name, unfortunately. But F. Mestre's point, who he might think means all the difference, he might have been going through already.
But he might think he needs another two. And I hope he does, because if he pushes on, we could see a really fascinating final few moments to this clash as both players make a few alterations.
He might think he is one of the greatest comebacks in the PES League history, and it's going to be, everyone's going to be loving it, but they all know he's already through. We'll wait and see how this game finishes, though.
And we continue with our trend of goals galore so far today here in Barcelona.
Another 4 here with 83 minutes on the clock.
Do you think it will get tighter in the knockout stage, or will it open up even more?
It's very hard to say. Usually when it gets down, I mean, it's usually fairly close, but then it's whether that's 2-1 or 4-3, it's very hard to tell, and that's been the case straight from the start, like we said, but we kind of know that because they are all of a very similar level. They've all qualified of the final 8 best players in the world for a reason. So of course, and there's another chance here for Jeju United to turn this game well and truly on its head from 2-0 down. He's hit the post, it would have been 3-2. What a chance, and F. Mestre might be thinking that's the chance which he should have taken, which might be sending him out of the competition, which is not doing.
If he does, he will have such relief at the end as
especially
Arsenal
if he to concede now, which he has.
Oh no!
Oh, what a finish! And Jose has his first goal, his first win, should I say, of the tournament in the 89th minute, and F. Mestre might be thinking he's heading home.
And Kataya with the goal, his first of the day, and it's right at the end. There literally is probably about 2 minutes of added time, which translates into a few seconds. And what a turnaround at the end.
Yeah, the Jeju United captain trying to urge his players on there, because they should have been 3-2 up, rattling the foot of the post, but Arsenal have gone down the other end and probably just about wrap this game up for Jose, who will finish the group with 3 points.
But still good to get a victory, isn't it?
Absolutely, yeah. No one wants to go home without a win.
We'll see right at the end of this match the full final standings of Group A in this one-on-one section of what will be a brilliant few hours ahead in Barcelona. Don't forget we have the co-op semi-finals and final before the knockout stage of the one-on-one element. The Qatarian escaping one challenge but not the second, and that is the full-time whistle, so a bit of pride restored at the end by Jose.